What's up, netizens? You're watching DarkStar, the only reaction channel that cares about equality. That's why we're having 3 girl fights this week. Yeah.
Let's get it.
I'm joined by fellow reactionaries, Joey and Chris. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Women
Chairs
power,
can't
dude.
talk. You know? Can't do it, dude. Can't do it.
Yeah, so today we're going to watch Android 18 versus Captain Marvel. I'm excited. I don't know.
It's interesting, actually.
Me and Joey haven't really gotten into Joey's watched Battle of the Gods and Resurrection of F, and I guess a couple episodes, but I think of the actual of those arcs as well anyway, so not like after that. So if there's anything that they bring up from Super that has Android 18 in it, we won't know about that. But we've both seen Z, so.
When was this made?
I don't know.
Oh, June 14, 2017.
Yeah,
so last year.
So we'll have to see what's up with that. And you've got Captain Marvel, which I really don't actually know that much about. She's like the female or the Wonder Woman equivalent for Marvel, right?
Pretty much, yeah. To an extent.
I mean like just similar.
Yeah.
Like if you were gonna choose it,
I guess that.
Like Sentry would be Superman. Like I see that comparison all the time or whatever. So it's not necessarily like the same. It's just that's the comparison that people draw automatically whenever if they have to.
Right.
But yeah. So we'll have to see what goes on there. What are your initial thoughts on where you think it's gonna be, Chris?
I don't know. Just out of the recent stuff that we've gone through as far as with Death Battle and stuff like that, it's hard for me to see anything less than Superman holding up to anybody in the Dragon Ball Z universe. So that's just what it comes down to for me. I mean, in my opinion, out of all the androids, I believe Android 18 is the strongest. So definitely feel like I'm probably going to give the win to her at first, but then again, I mean, there might be some shit about, I don't know, man. There's been so many different Miss Marvels.
I don't know shit about this.
I don't know exactly which Marvel they're going with and what powers that one actually has. I think there's been like 3 or 4 of them. So I don't know. I don't know which one they're going to go with yet.
Well, like I said, I don't know any power-ups that she gets in Super if she does get any. They're androids, so I don't know if they're supposed to be able to get power-ups or not, but
I mean, the only thing I can say, which isn't a spoiler at all, that they kind of explain a little bit more in Super that they did do in Z, is that because they're androids and they were wished to be humans, they might have like human aging and human shit like that, but they still have the stamina of an android, which was pretty fucking ridiculous. So like they don't tire.
Did they change that? They wish to be humans? Was that done sometime?
That happened in Z.
Well, he tried to wish them to be humans, and the dragon said no, and then he was like, okay, well, can you just take the bomb out of their hearts?
Oh, yeah, it might have been that. Oh, I swear to God, they got turned to humans. I don't know, dude. It's been some pairs I've watched.
Because they're still cyborgs. They're cyborgs,
okay, so
technically. They're not.
But
they're part human. Yeah, they're part human. They're cyborgs. They're not androids. They're not like really androids. That's just like the way.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
yeah.
That's where my confusion was at. Anyways, but yes, so that was like something that was like stupid that was brought up later. It's like, yeah, well, we just don't tire, so it's like, okay, cool.
Right, and that's why. Because in Z, when she fights Vegeta, it's implied in Super Saiyan. It's implied that they're maybe like about even. She's a little bit stronger than he is, but they're about even or whatever. But he gets tired as the fight goes on, and then she just wrecks him at the end or wipes the floor with him or whatever.
Right.
I was just saying that it's implied 17 is stronger than her during that saga, and then 16 is way stronger than either one of them, for sure, during that saga.
Fair enough.
So, like I said, I
would still say, like, I mean, that's fair. I guess 17 would technically be stronger. Like I said, it's hard for me to look at somebody on a pedestal of Marvel or anything like that. That's, like I said, anything less than Superman at this fucking point. It just doesn't. I mean, these fucking Dragon Ball Z characters' power levels are fucking ridiculous. So,
but a lot of people do say that there's a bias against anime in Screw Attack. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that say that.
Fair enough. I don't think I would disagree. So, yeah, I don't think.
But they might have changed their tune because so many people were saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Bitching about it.
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I love Marvel to death. I'm not necessarily a Miss Marvel fan, or in this case, a Captain Marvel fan.
Yeah.
But
I'm definitely voting for 18. So
yeah, I definitely do like 18 a lot. So
I'm a
it's
Dragon
gonna,
Ball Z character for sure.
yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for me to kind of sway over to Captain Marvel at this point because I like 18 a lot. So
yeah,
but well, my favorite things with 18 though is just her personality and her attitude, dude. That shit cracks me the fuck up. Just like how she's married to Krillin, but she's just such a fucking bitch to Krillin.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I call her Android 18. So.
18?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and watch the analysis, and then we can make our picks, and then watch the battle. I've been excited. I see this all the time in my recommended, and I always want to watch it.
I love a powerful woman. Even better, one that keeps getting stronger and stronger. And today, we've got two of them.
Android 18, the deadly cyborg killer from Dragon Ball.
And Captain Marvel, the hard-hitting, high-flying Avenger. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Wait, was that Captain Marvel right there?
In the age 763, peace had returned to the Earth. Unsung heroes, led by the Super Saiyan Goku, had saved the world from an evil galactic tyrant.
Everything seemed pretty hunky-dory until a mysterious time traveler showed up out of nowhere with a grave warning.
In just 3 years' time, 2 deadly androids would rise up and ravage the Earth, all while wearing the mark of the long-forgotten Red Ribbon Army.
This sounds like it's gonna get complicated real fast.
To be brief, the Red Ribbon Army was the greatest military force ever known, even greater than the Earth's entire armed forces combined.
Until a tiny monkey child named Goku strolled through and wrecked their shit.
Dr. Gero, founder and lead scientist of the Red Ribbon Army, held a grudge against Goku for over 20 years. Like any mad scientist hell-bent on revenge, the good doctor got back to doing what he did best.
Building murder bots.
And so he designed some of his deadliest creations to
That's how
date,
Zero got
Android
created.
17
Or wait.
and Android 18. Though Android isn't entirely accurate. 17 and 18 were actually humans once, siblings even. So that makes them cyborgs, not androids. You'd think a doctor with Gero's prestige would know the difference. I'll just chalk it up to a classic case of revenge madness. That happens to the best of us.
Android 18's real name is Lazuli,
It's actually
which
just
sounds
a
like some sort of
dub
Italian
error.
pasta dish. No wonder she kept the name 18 after brutally murdering her maker.
Yeah, Android 18 and her brother were pretty unruly and a force to be reckoned with. Gero, even with his own cyborg body, didn't stand a chance.
With nothing better to do, the twins set off to ravage the world as predicted. But this time, something changed. After witnessing the compassion of the heroes, including a bald, vertically challenged martial artist named Krillin, 18 had a change of heart and joined the good guys.
She even wound up starting a family with Krillin.
Nice! Give it up for Krillin! Not only is he punching above his bracket, but he's laying pipe above it as well. Plus, 18 doesn't really age, so that's a serious win.
Android 18 is an extremely competitive fighter with numerous deadly abilities. Gero's programming stems from decades of military dominance, granting her incredible hand-to-hand combat skills and mechanically enhanced senses for superb situational awareness.
And she's got the strength to back it up. This chick can embed a person straight into the side of a cliff with a single smack, or shoot explosions out of her hands.
She does this by harnessing Ki, a Taoist-inspired life force energy manifested through a person's spirit and
Sir
vigor.
Vidal's hands.
With her Ki, 18 can fire a barrage of energy beams powerful enough to destroy buildings, continents, possibly even planets.
Like the finger beam. Talk about getting finger blasted, am I right?
No.
Oh, you know you laughed.
Absolutely not.
On the inside?
Ugh. Android 18 has dozens of other techniques, such as infinity bullets.
I know what you're thinking, but it's not a magic gun with unlimited ammo. It's a stampede of energy blasts which are nearly impossible to avoid.
Her photon strike lays waste to a vast area in an instant. She can even use her husband's signature technique, the Destructo Disc.
It's a buzzsaw made of pure energy. Why don't more Dragon Ball characters use that thing?
Ki is just as much a defensive tool as
Too OP.
well. Android 18 can enhance her strength, speed, and endurance with her energy, greatly surpassing the limitations of her physical body.
Oh yeah, and she can fly.
Unlike most warriors, 18's energy supply stems from a sort of battery within. This system grants her a continuous and potentially endless supply of ki.
She'll never get tuckered out. In fact, one of her favorite combat strategies is wasting time to make her enemy exhausted, then moving in to finish him off.
She's making him burn up all his energy and then she's going to attack him.
Like many of Dr. Giro's other androids, it's even possible for 18 to steal her foe's energy for herself by absorbing it through her body,
Hey, it's Super Saiyan 4
increasing
Goku.
her power and nullifying her opponent.
So you can bet she'll always go the distance. Like Rocky
kinda-
Balboa, except,
I mean, I want
you know,
18 to
way
win, so I hope
stronger
they fucking
and
use that and she
way
wins.
prettier.
But I don't think she can
18
do that.
is tough enough to
At least
deflect
I didn't see that
Goku's
in the anime.
Kamehameha attack,
didn't
even
see
while
it in
he's
the
in
anime
Super
either.
Saiyan blue form. Also, she can kick hard enough to break Super Saiyan Vegeta's arm.
What's so impressive about breaking an arm? You broke yours once just by falling out of your chair.
Block
You might
Trunk
have missed
sword,
the
which killed
Super
Frieza
Saiyan
and
part
something
there.
destroyed a planet.
Vegeta's extremely
Yeah.
high ki levels improve his
I don't
body
know
to
if
support an
Trunks' swords
impressive
ever
amount of
destroyed
weight.
a planet, but
Leading up
they
to the
definitely
Put a set on
fight,
the fucking
Vegeta was
thing on the
training
bottom
at
right.
450
Did it
times
really?
gravity,
I think it's about Frieza
making his
destroying a
weight
planet.
About 55,000 pounds.
Trunks' sword
That means
killed
the
Frieza,
tibia in
and
his
Frieza
leg
destroyed
would be
planets.
supporting over
Bullshit.
40,000 pounds.
I don't know
the
how that would
equivalent of
be
8
convertible,
pickup trucks.
honestly.
Damn, I wish I had bones like that.
She
I
killed
could
him,
fire
he killed
so
him, he blew
many
the planet up, so,
bazookas,
yeah.
never have to
That's
worry
how that
about
would work in my
falling
opinion,
down.
but-
On top of that, she's able to use her constant supply of ki to easily match the speed of a Super Saiyan. We've previously established that an ascended Super Saiyan can fly approximately 340,000 miles per hour. So it's
man, this
reasonable to
is-
believe 18 can do the same.
Man, this key stuff is seriously awesome. Maybe I should start meditating or something.
Do you even know how?
Yeah, all I gotta do is get drunk and sit on the floor crisscross applesauce style, right? Easy.
Sure. Anyway,
They're
just
doing
like
this battle
Vegeta,
kinda weird.
Android 18's ki allows her to survive
She doesn't have a lot of her own
serious
feats or
blows.
whatever,
She's
so they're
even
trying to
tanked
use
the
other
full
people's
brunt of
feats
a
to kind
Super
of
Saiyan
calculate
ki
what she can
blast,
do.
capable of obliterating an entire building without a scratch.
Can't say the same for that sweet-ass jacket. Man, 18 is awesome.
Awesome? Yes. Unstoppable? Not at all. Android 18 is unfortunately susceptible to a number of weaknesses, including her own programming. Fearing her unruliness, Giro designed her with a remote shutdown system in place, one that both he and Krillin's friend Bulma were able to exploit.
Wow, so this little thing will stop them, huh?
On top of that,
Yeah,
18
maybe-
has a reputation
Maybe Miss
of
Marvel will
being
just
cold
create a
and pathetic.
fucking
Although this is
bomb that took the
mostly
world's
just a
greatest
guise,
scientists in, like,
as she's
half a
always
second.
ready to defend her friends and family from threats. She even
Jesus,
joined Goku,
GT.
the man she was originally programmed to kill, for an interdimensional tournament bent on saving the universe from
Oh,
annihilation.
there, well,
It's
spoiler
safe to
alert.
say that Super Saiyans are not the
Tournament
only
of power,
blondes
bro.
protecting the planet.
Yeah.
Believe me, when she gets that look in her eye, you better hold on to your Dragon Balls.
I know I'm being hard on you, but it's the only way you'll learn.
That's like one of the key things they found in Tournament of Power. They're like, oh, we don't tire of
Captain
energy.
Marvel
It's all right,
has
well,
had
you two get
many
the fuck out
names in
there.
her career, but when she was born, she was simply Carol Danvers.
Carol grew up in Boston and joined
Okay,
the
so we're
Air
using
Force
Carol.
to pay for
All right,
college.
not Shannon
She quickly
or Sharon
flew
or
to
whatever
the
her
top
name
of
was.
their ranks before moving
Cool.
on to the Air Force Intelligence. Then
Sharon
she
called
joined
me.
NASA. Damn, is her superpower just having really badass jobs? Wonder if she could give me a recommendation.
Working at NASA was pretty cool until aliens attacked. Carol got caught in the middle of a massive battle between the Kree aliens and a Kree superhero named Mar-Vell, known to the world as Captain Marvel.
Well, wait. Captain Marvel's secret identity is Mar-Vell? Somebody forgot to read Superheroes for Dummies. Anyway, during the battle, Carol got stuck in a machine called the Psych Magnetron, which exploded. Luckily for her, this was one of those explosions that turns you into a superhero.
The energy from the blast merged Carol's DNA with strands of Mar-Vell's. She developed an extra Kree brain lobe and gained most of Mar-Vell's powers, transforming her into a new, dynamic superheroine.
Except she didn't even realize it at first. She'd just black out at random times and wake up to hear about a new suspiciously blonde superhero. Hey, Wiz, maybe I have a superhero side like this. I mean, I black out all the time.
Boomstick, you don't have powers. you have a problem.
I have to say right now,
Throughout her adventures, Carol went through several
she's a
phases of
fucking
superhero
NASA
titles.
scientist. She's a
First
genius
Miss
or whatever.
Marvel,
She
then
uses like some
Binary,
sort of like
then
X-ray vision,
Warbird, then Miss
sees the
Marvel
bomb,
again,
makes the
until
fucking
one
thing,
day
and blows her up. I'll be
Marvel
fucking pissed.
died.
It'd be the dumbest way
Here's
this
to
could
you,
end.
Marvel.
To honor her fallen friend, Carol Danvers took up his mantle, becoming the brand new Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is unbelievably powerful, with superhuman strength and incredible durability.
She learned how to fly planes in the Air Force, but now she could fly herself and super fast.
Speaking of which, through her time with the Air Force and as a member of the Avengers, she's received years of quality combat training. Not only can she hit hard, she can fire powerful concussive blasts of photon and stellar light energy from her hands, as well as create energy fields.
As if all that weren't enough, Carol can open up an extra can of whoop-ass by absorbing energy. Absorbing anything from electricity to magic can make her even stronger.
With these powers, Captain Marvel has done some pretty amazing things. While training with the Avengers, the combat simulation measured that she could deliver a force of 92 tons, almost 10 times the destructive power of a Davy Crockett nuclear missile.
She can survive energy blasts to the face and even the vacuum of space for a long period of time. Once she flew from Broadway to the end of the atmosphere in only 1 minute and 58 seconds. That's a lot of sky to cover in less than 2 minutes.
She claims that's her personal record. Now, considering the distance between a New York City street and the exosphere, Marvel must have been flying 247 times faster than the speed of sound.
Carol has taken out characters like Vision, punched Iron Man out of his armor, and even survived 2 point-blank blasts from the Destructor's beam, which has enough power to punch holes through an Imperial Kree starship.
And that's not even the height of her power. If Marvel absorbs enough energy, she can access the powers of Binary, a form she took after losing her powers, getting lost in space, and being experimented on by aliens. Long story. As Binary, she can tap into the power of a white hole and generate star levels of energy.
And her hair's on fire!
Were you even listening? That's like the least interesting thing about it.
Says you? Look at it.
Binary was an extremely powerful form, capable of wiping out entire fleets of enemy ships, but one that Captain Marvel does not have easy access to. She initially lost the form after expending all of its energy, and is unable to reach it again without absorbing a massive amount of interstellar energy, such as the infinite energy from a gravitational field of a black hole singularity.
She's too stubborn to just give up, though.
She's stubborn to a fault, even rushing headlong into situations while ignoring advice from
would
wiser,
they put
more
that in here if
experienced
she wasn't
friends.
gonna get the
Like
form?
the time she started a civil war
not
between
sure.
superheroes, or when she
hard for me to
completely
figure out,
ignored
too.
her damaging addiction to alcohol.
Yeah, Carol is a badass with a hell of a lot of power. But if Tony Stark, of all people, thinks you have a drinking problem, you should probably listen to him instead of trying to fly into space while completely wasted. Yeah.
Regardless, Captain Marvel is a seasoned hero with a record that most would be envious of. Hell, she's such a pillar, she's named after the publishing company itself.
Anybody else?
I don't know. So it's crazy. Like, so I don't know exactly. So it sounds like she has to absorb like this crazy, crazy power, right? So if they so this is the way I look at it personally, right? So pre-binary, I mean 92 tons. I mean, and Mach 247. I mean, as far as I can tell from if you power up comparatively to her being significantly stronger than.
By the way.
Was it?
I think so.
Regardless, you power that up. I mean, the character's Super Saiyan Plus should be. I mean, that should be child's play. Like those numbers should be child's play to those. But binary, obviously, much more powerful than that. But my other problem is that if she has enough power to power her up so that she can go to binary, then wouldn't that mean that she has like that at least as much power as those things that they're saying that she has to be able to absorb or whatever? And then she should be more powerful to be able to take on binary too, I would think. But I'm not sure.
It's just tough. I was mainly looking forward to seeing who they were going to show her like beating or keeping up with. And even though they didn't really mention his name, it did show a picture of fucking Hulk trying to smash her, and she was holding his fist up, and I was like, fuck, because Hulk's strong as shit. And I like Hulk would wreck Android 18. And that picture might pick at tomorrow. I honestly haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to listen to what y'all pick first and then decide. So I'm picking first.
It's hard to tell. When we talk about, I mean, personally, it was 247. When we talk about stuff like Hulk and like Android 18, I feel like it's difficult to get the perception that Android 18 is versus other DBZ fighters, whereas Hulk is among like the Marvel fighters and stuff like that, and these are like casual. By the time like Vegeta, when he's fighting Goku, the very first Saiyan saga, Vegeta's fighting Goku, he's gonna blow up the planet. He's gonna blow up Earth with his attack. And so that means Goku at that point was strong enough to do that. Then they go to the Namek saga, where they keep getting more and more powerful. They keep fighting more and more people. They keep getting... So they're already at planet busting level at that point. By the time they get to Frieza 1%, Frieza 1% is literally wrecking them after they get a few more power-ups. Then Goku needs even more power-ups so that he can fight Frieza as it's going along. Then he gets Super Saiyan, and then a little bit more powerful than that. Like some level of like still Super Saiyan 1, but somewhere in that range of Super Saiyan 1, but more than just like the original Super Saiyan 1, is where Android 18 is sitting. So I mean, she should be at least a casual planet buster easily. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. I kind of agree with Chris. Unless you're talking about players in these universes that have like either matter manipulation or unfucking real power, or like unlimited power, I feel like DBZ fighters are portrayed to be like outrageously more powerful.
You're probably right. I'm probably gonna Android 18.
I was just watching, and obviously she's not anywhere near as powerful as he is, but I was watching Kid Buu or whatever, and the dude is literally teleporting from planet to planet instantly, just blowing up planets. Like you watch one scene where it's literally like planet gone, and then he goes to the fucking the
definitely OP as fuck.
I mean, they're fucking crazy strong. Anyway, I'm gonna go with 18 obviously because I want her to win. So that's just.
I think 18 as well.
I don't know who's gonna win, but I want 18 to win, so that's what I'm gonna go with.
Oh, 18.
Okay. All right.
The way I look at it is like Captain Marvel to me seems like a battery that has a cap, and it takes her a lot to get to that cap. But once she gets to that cap, it can easily be burnt down to where, once again, Android 18 is legitimately unlimited power.
She just has to survive it.
Yeah. And I think she can do that with her speeds and shit like that. I think she can do it. So, yeah, 18.
All right. The only thing that... Oh, that's not canon. Okay. All right, you guys...
Get back! This orb is coming with me. Give me a break, lady. I've been looking for that thing all day. Don't make me hurt you. Yeah, good luck with that.
Fight!
One hit KO.
I really don't have time for this. Hey!
Damn. The hair pulling has begun.
What a pest. No fair! That's
playing dirty.
Time to clean up then.
Absorbed it.
Surprise! Thanks
Wow,
for the energy.
that was fast.
That's not good. Well, it's not enough too early. I don't know.
That was crazy early.
I can take whatever you give and dish it back twice as hard.
How long can you do it?
I like how the destructive dish is just.
Are they gonna make it so she can absorb
Think
it?
of your own energy.
She might absorb it herself. I forgot they gave her that power.
What? Surprise! I can do it too.
Well, you're literally murdering her on screen.
Fair. I can
Both her arms.
still.
Oh my god!
And that's that.
Jesus!
Oh, jeez.
Now that's a crushing blow.
Captain Marvel may have been one of the Avengers' mightiest warriors, but she couldn't stand up to the impressive power, speed, and expertise of Android 18.
First off, the numbers don't lie. When it comes to speed, Carol's best record put her in just under 200,000 miles per hour, but 18 could move over 100,000 miles faster.
Most apparent of all, Marvel's durability and strength feats simply pale in comparison to 18's. The only way Marvel's power could match 18's was to absorb enough energy to reach her binary form.
But 18 is no stranger to that technique. There's no doubt she recognized what Carol was doing and stopped feeding her energy. Even if Carol had somehow achieved the full force of Binary, that wouldn't have guaranteed a win. I mean, the last time we saw Binary in the comics, she was taken down by some alien guns. Guess she's not as good at absorbing energy as she thought.
With superior speed, strength, tactics, and endurance, Android 18 simply wore Captain Marvel down until it was time to go in for the kill.
And that's why Captain Marvel lost by TKO. God, that one was awful.
The winner is Android 18.
Well, I can't say I'm not happy,
Hey,
but
you don't go.
I do have a few things I want to say. But
I mean,
do you
she
guys have
had to
anything?
win. She blocked Trunk's sword, which killed Frieza, who survived the planet bust.
That's the. So the reason why I say that doesn't make sense to me is so Frieza blows up planets. All right, cool.
It actually
Frieza's body
Frieza survived the
blow
planet.
up planets. Oh, what?
It says, I went back and looked, it said, block Trunk's sword, which killed Frieza, who survived the planet bust. And withstood lovemaking with Krillin.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear! 546, what it fucking says.
No, obviously it's a joke, but
Yeah, that was just a funny thing. But and the other one, for real, I think somehow they want that logic to work. Well, she beat him. Who beat him? He survived this and did this.
well,
and did
I mean
that.
that makes more sense. The way that you put it to me first sounded like they're like
I agree. It makes
Frieza
sense.
blows up planets. Trunks killed Frieza with this sword. So since she
I said it wrong the first time for sure.
yeah, I was like,
The reason why it makes
that
sense.
doesn't make sense
The
to me.
reason why I think it does make sense is because the way that DBZ is portrayed is that you use ki to power up certain things or whatever, and so you would use an equal amount of ki to blast a planet as you would imbue it into your sword so that you could cut Frieza, basically, is the idea of how you would transfer between those two things or whatever. This ki level is essentially how they determine what's what. It's the same thing that they do in Bleach or whatever.
Her
like,
fucking
however,
perks, dude.
your spiritual pressure versus somebody else's spiritual pressure. Like if you have more than them, then you can cut them. If you don't, then you can't cut them. Like that's just all there is to it or whatever.
Her perk literally says help defeat Super 17 in GT. Deflected Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha. She's a god. But yeah. I didn't know about the power stealing thing, but
She can't. She absolutely cannot. And I think I've seen somewhere somebody say that they may mess that up because now that I'm thinking about it, I distinctly remember Dr. Giro saying that they were not energy absorption models because that model was what do you call it? Like out of date or whatever you want to obsolete. He was saying that those were obsolete. Like him and 19 were those models, and maybe 16 was too. I don't remember, but those models were obsolete basically, and 17 and 18 were the infinite energy models, so they never run out of stamina and all that kind of shit or whatever. And they specifically say that they're not the energy absorption models or whatever, so she shouldn't be able to do that. As far as I remember.
Well, I'm looking it up now. I mean, I don't know about him specifically saying that. I don't remember that far back. I didn't see anything in here about that. But I mean, every time they said it, they kept using the thing from Xenoverse 2. And I mean, it says they can do it in Xenoverse 2, but everywhere else I've read, the only people who've ever done it in the show are 19 and 20, Super 17, and then in Dragon Ball Fusions, Android 33, 44, 55, 76 can all use it. But the only time it's ever shown where 18 was able to use it was in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. The Future Warrior Xenoverse 2 can also use this form of energy absorption via the Drain Filled Super Skill. So, yeah, other than that, it doesn't show a single time where anybody else besides Cell 19 or 20. Wait. Yeah, Cell 19 or 20 use it. And obviously Super 17. But
going back to just overall, I do think that they got the rest of it right, though. I think that 18 was too strong for
those fucking kicks.
Captain Marvel
fucking arms. That's crazy.
By the way they gave her whatever. And they even kind of lowballed 18 a little bit, because they basically gave her basic Super Saiyan feats for the most part or whatever, and then used the multipliers or whatever. Whereas I think she was a little bit stronger than base Super Saiyan before they started getting their power-ups, like in the time chamber and stuff like that. When they came out of the time chamber for the first time, then they were more powerful than 18 by a pretty significant margin. But prior to that, 18 and 17 were both, I mean, obviously Trunks and Gohan in the future, both Super Saiyans, and Gohan had been around for quite a long time, and 18, 17 were wiping the floor with them. And Trunks said, "No, I don't know if this is retconned at all or whatever when in Super," but Trunks said that originally when he came back, that the version of 17 and 18 in the canon timeline or whatever, not the future timeline, were more powerful than the versions from the future or whatever. But later on, those had 50%. They were only using a certain amount of power, but that's technically what he says the very first time. And I haven't seen Super yet, so I don't know if that recounts any of that. So, anyway, all right. Well, I'm happy. So, even if it kind of was done a little bit wonky, I'm happy 18 won. So,
right.
DBZ gets one on Marvel. Woo. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this one. We're also gonna be watching whatever those other two battles are we're watching this week. Catwoman, Black Widow, Lightning, Wonder Woman. So go check those out. Should be coming out at the same time. Other than that, next week we'll be watching another death battle. I think it's gonna be Chun-Li versus Mei something, whoever that is. So we'll have to
Mei
see.
from Overwatch. What?
No. It's not gonna be that thick of a battle. All right. Until then, stay bright. Catch you on the dark side.
Dudes, if you like that video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want early access to our reaction series, you can support us on Patreon. Also, don't forget to check out the links to our Twitter and Twitch in the description below. Thanks for watching.